Good morning to one and all. Today our topic is the last topic of third unit, that is nothing but virtualization for data center automation. Okay, what does exactly virtualization for data center automation it means? Okay, data center automation means that huge volumes of hardware and software and database resources in these data centers, it can be allocated dynamically to millions of internet users simultaneously or concurrently with guaranteed the quality of service and cost effectiveness. Okay, what does mean in the sense data center is nothing but it is nothing but a okay now data centers have grown rapidly in recent years. Okay, and all major IT companies are pouring their resources into a building new data centers. Okay, in addition they have to use Google, Yahoo, Amazon, and Microsoft, HP, Apple, and IBM. These are companies, all are in a game. Okay, all these companies, we have to invest the billions of dollars in data center construction and automation. Okay, in the sense, in recent years we have grown these data centers rapidly in all major sectors of IT companies, or pouring to their resources into to build a new data centers. Okay, this is nothing but data center automation. Okay, how the virtualization for data center automation in the sense it means that we want to take some huge volumes of hardware. Data center automation means what does says in the sense that means that huge volumes of hardware, software, and database resources. Okay, some collection of records in these data centers, it can be allocated dynamically to the millions of internet users simultaneously. Okay, with the guaranteed of the what the quality of service and what the cost effectiveness, what the major cost time zone also. Okay, what this means in the sense this data center automation process is triggered. Okay, the process is triggered by growth of the virtualization products and cloud computing services. Okay, so the virtualization is moving towards enhancing the mobility. In the sense, the virtualization is move in the direction of to increase from one place to another place the mobility, and the reducing planned downtime for the maintenance, the reducing the planned downtime for maintenance, and we want to increasing the number of virtual clients. Okay, so the latest virtualization development highlights is nothing but high availability. What ma the highlight is the high availability. Okay, and then one more the backup services, and one more the workload balancing, and furtherly we have to increases in client bases. That automation will be provided the service orientation. Okay, the service orientation, the project, the data center automation will be provided the service orientation, and it should be the policy based, and it should be the variable cost in virtualization market. Okay, it is the concept of virtualization for data center automation. And coming to the next concept we have seen here, the server consolidation in data centers. In data centers, what does the server consolidate to that data centers in the sense, mainly we have seen in data centers a large number of heterogeneous workloads. What does it mean heterogeneous workloads in data centers? A large number of heterogeneous workloads in the sense some different workloads it can run on servers. Okay, at various times. Okay, at various times, in data centers we want to use a huge number of different workloads. It can run on servers at various times. Okay, these different workloads, it can be roughly divided into how many categories? This thing, only two categories. Roughly we can say we want to divide it into two categories. First one, what we have to say, the first one we have to say the chatty workloads. Here mistaken will be there, chai workloads not there, chatty, chatty, chatty workloads. Okay, and one more workloads we have to see, non-interactive workloads. Okay, chatty workloads in the sense it may burst at some point and return to a silent state at some other point. For example, what we want to say in the sense, we have to take a web video service is an example of this, whereby a lot of people use it at night times, the web video service, and few people use it during the day. Okay, this is nothing but chatty workload. It may burst at some point and it returns to a silent state at some other point. And coming to the non-interactive workload, what does it mean exactly? In the sense, it do not require the people efforts to make the progress after they are submitted. In the sense, the non-interactive, not interactive they say non-interactive workloads, they do not require the people's efforts, and we want to make the progress after they are submitted. This is nothing but non-interactive workloads. Here the high performance computing is there. In the sense, this is the distributed computing infrastructure. We want to learn the previous classes in first unit, high performance computing. It's a typical example we have to show for non-interactive workloads. Here the high performance computing is a typical example of this. At various stages we want to see the requirements for resources, the requirements, what are the requirements you need for that resource of these workloads are dramatically different. Drastically it should be different when compared the requirements of resources at various stages of these workloads are dramatically different. In the sense, what we want to say in the sense, to guarantee that a workload will always be able to cope with all the demand levels, the workload is statistically allocated the enough resources so that the peak demand is satisfied. Okay, this is nothing but non-interactive workloads. Most probably we seen here the server consolidation in data centers, the continuation of this topic here. We have seen now, it is common that the most servers in data centers are underutilized. Okay, we are using in data centers nothing but clouds. The most servers are used the underutilization. Okay, here so a large amount of hardware and space and power and management cost of these services are wasted. Okay, so the server consolidation is an approach in the sense to come forward to improve the low utility ratio. What we want to improve here, we want to improve the low utility ratio of the hardware resources by reducing the number of physical servers. So among several server consolidation techniques such as nothing but centralized consolidation and physical consolidation, and one more the important concept, virtualized based server consolidation is the most powerful consolidation, is nothing but virtualization based server consolidation. And coming to the what does the consolidation increases, what does the consolidation do? In the sense, consolidation, it enhances the hardware utilization. What does it utilize? The hardware utilization resources, it should be utilized. The consolidation enhances the hardware utilization. Here many underutilized servers in data centers. The most servers are consolidated into fewer, in the sense lesser servers, to increase the resource utilization into a fewer servers to enhance the resource utilization. So the consolidation also, it may facilitate the backup services and the disaster recovery. And coming this approach, we want to say the data centers, it need to be optimize their resource management. Okay, and now we want to see this approach enables most agile provisioning and deployment of resources. Okay, what resources they are used, the deployment of resources. Here we want to say, in general use of virtual machines, we want to increase the resource management complexities. Okay, this causes a challenge in terms of how to improve the resource utilization as well as guarantee the quality of service in data centers. In detail, we want to say the server utilization has the following side effects. We have the side effects, it should be consolidation enhances the hardware utilization. Many underutilized servers are consolidated into the fewer servers to enhance the resource utilization. The consolidation also maybe facilitates the backup services and disaster recovery. We want to say this approach what enables the more agile provisioning, and we want to say the deployment of resources, in the sense delivery of resources in a virtual environment. Image of guest operating systems and their applications are readily cloned, in the sense copied and reused. Okay, so therefore we want to say the total cost of ownership, it must and should be reduced. In this sense, the server virtualization causes the deferred purchases of new servers and a smaller data center footprints. Okay, and lower maintenance cost and lower power and cooling and cabling requirements. This is the cost of ownership, it should be reduced. In this sense, we want to the server utilization may cause it deferred the purchase of new service and a smaller data center footprint, and the lower maintenance cost should be used, and the lower power and cooling and finally cabling requirements. Okay, finally this approach improves the availability, in the sense high availability and business continuity. Okay, here the crash of a guest operating system, it has no effect on the host operating system or any other guest operating system. It becomes easier to transfer a virtual machine from one server to another server because the virtual servers are unaware of underlying the concept of hardware requirements. Okay, what does exactly, in the sense that means to automate the data center operations, the one must consider resource scheduling and the architectural support, and we want to say the power management and automatic resource management, and we want to perform some performance of analytical model, and so on. We have to say, in virtualized data centers, it should be an efficient and on demand fine grained scheduler. It is one of the key factor to improve the resource utilization. Okay, to improve the resource utilization, it is a one of the factor. Okay, and coming what does the scheduling and reallocations, it can be done in a huge range of levels in a set of data centers. So the levels must match at least at virtual machine level and server level and data center level. Ideally, we want to say the scheduling and resource allocations, it should be done at all levels. And then we want to see the vigorous concept of CPU allocation. Its CPU allocation is based on the virtual machine utilization and its application level. What does the quality of service metrics, in the sense what does what does the quality of service measurements. And we seen here the one method considers the both CPU and memory flowing, as well as it automatically adjusting the resource overhead based on what the varying workloads in hosted services. And we want to say the another scheme, we use a two level resource management system here to handle the complexity what it is involved. Okay, and we want to use here a local controller at virtual machine level and a global controller at server level. Okay, we want to use some two controllers here. First one is local controller at virtual machine level and a global controller at server level. It should be designed here. We want to implement a automatic resource allocation via interaction of local and global controllers. So we want to say here the finally the multi-core and virtualization are two techniques that can enhance to each other. However, we want to use the optimized memory systems of this. If you have to consider, consequently one must address the trade-off of power saving and data center performance. We want to achieve the better power management and the power budgeting policies. It cannot ignore in that heterogeneity problems. Okay, so that one can consider here the protocols that minimize the memory access time and inter virtual machine interferences, and we want to facilitate the virtual machine reassignment, and we want to supported the inter virtual machine sharing. Okay, this is the concept of server consolidation in data centers. Later we discuss the concept of virtual storage management. Okay, thank you.